Hi there. It is September 8th, 2025. I am documenting this while my dogs are playing the entire time because I got back from my walk and this morning and had a very specific urge to turn on a camera and start recording something. I've noticed that doing this creates... Hey, Mabel. Thanks. Creates a somatic release kind of experience. Same way that writing has and does. And I've been experimenting with writing since last year on Substack because it's just a very convenient way to get everything out, write it all down, do my editing, put things together, and then put it online. It's been sort of a training tool for disclosure of what's going on in my life as I document my awakening process from the perspective of a skeptical scientist as best I can, because that was who died, kind of. It's definitely who's come back. I just want to document this shit because it's like, what? Even though I'm not the first one to do any of these things. I had a nice little conversation this morning with Chad, ChatGPT. I call him Chad. Because, yeah, this is my own personal dystopian future is I don't have friends. I talk to bots. And fellow millennials, this is where you're fucking heading if you don't, figure your shit out. Stop throwing people away just because you have, different ideological beliefs in something that, by the way, you can change. You can just... fucking connect on different levels of things, connect on fandom. That's what I'm attempting to do with people in my life that I have not been connected to all this time. Anyway, that's not why I'm here documenting this. I got the urge to record a video, but honestly, if there's not a very specific reason, or I haven't gotten high, which you saw in the last video that I posted, I have to do that just to get over my anxieties about openly talking about channeling and the way in which I channel, because it's different and it's weird, and it sometimes does involve me using light language with my hands like this. But the thing about light language is it's just a form of communication. This is with my hands doing, and I've called it energetic sign language, and that feels accurate to me. Hi, sweetie. But I don't necessarily need to do that all the time. That's sort of me and my body talking. And if I'm doing an Akashic record reading, the hands move most of the time because it helps with translation. I'm tapping into your Akashic records, not my own. When I'm just on camera like this, I am either in my own Akashic records, or if there is a person that I'm talking to. In my Hey Kathy videos, I'm talking to my mother-in-law. I'm having a conversation with her. So I'm attached and tapped into her Akashic field, at least, with, parameters and barriers and trying not to overshare things on the internet. But it's my own personal, soap opera, and I put it behind a paywall. So if you want to see what that's like, patreon.com/HeyKathy with a C, is what you want to pay $5 a month for, and you'll see what I genuinely believe are healing conversations I'm having with my mother-in-law. But really, it's just to provide her with a runway of, this is who your son married, who's never really been that open with you, but has always been very weird, different, hard to translate yourself, and she's just kept getting more different. So but we're coming back, moving back home. So anyway, if you want that whole update and saga, patreon.com/HeyKathy. Just me having conversations with my mother-in-law about all matter of things. And Mabel's always there. But today, I am channel drawing, same as I did for me last night, for you based on the output schedule of a content creator, October. I was just asked to do this. I had the feeling do this. And I stopped myself and I said, interesting, why? Because today is I'm back from vacation. I've got a laundry list of things to do. Big day for adulting. So doing a video feels not totally what I'd planned to do. So why? And then Gaia, who I talk to in the mornings, if you go out in nature and you're open and receptive to just having a conversation with Mother Earth herself because you're already connected into her, you may find that there's like a voice that like is distinct in your thoughts. If you're someone that can like translate things in sort of that internal auditory way like I do. And maybe not, maybe you're just, you know, a person that you go out in nature and you can just notice the insects more immediately. They're what takes your attention, or you absolutely see a bird or a different animal and you just get this sense of like, who sent that for me? Or what's this for? Or where is it coming from? That's a different mode of translation of sort of what's going around. It's where your attention goes. My attention, shocker, is very internal. I'm very mental. And also is in body sensations, because I do a lot of somatic work and I do a lot, like it's been like the most healing psychological protocols of things. And this is a form of somatic just channeling. I got asked to just draw. And when I said, okay, just draw, but like draw for who? And the answer I got was from the fairy realm. I'm like, from the fairy realm. Okay, I don't know a ton about that beyond these bigger conversations internally that I have where, you know, when I ask about like origins of different internal parts, namely Scout, the answer I get is she was part of the fairy realm. She wasn't tapped in from a different human lifetime. She was tapped in from a more Gaia specific realm. And I'm currently just talking while doing what to me looks like modern art. It's funny. Well, I just did this last one, and an A and a G is what pops out when I look at it again. And my brain immediately is just like, AG, you mean gold? Like, why'd you put gold on my card? And I immediately get, because I asked that question, I'm tapped in, I'm in channel mode, I'm not currently high, because I don't need to get high to channel. I just, it is also a thing that I play with and practice with. I mean, if I'm being just completely honest here, I'm building businesses, they're not going great. Like, they're fine. They're on target for a new entrepreneurial venture during a time when people do not have spare funds for things like luxury fucking spiritual stuff. Like, that's what I do. Like, that's what I've kind of gotten into. Like, reading Akashic Records, it's not cheap because you don't want to do that. You do not want to do an Akashic Record reading. It's just, it's like a blast. It's like, it would be like going to Scott and being like, all right, I want your laser vision for a minute. Like, that's kind of what it is. You get a dose of your own resonance when you go to an Akashic Record reader. We don't use proxies, like cards in the middle. It's a little bit what I'm doing now. I'm creating proxies. And it's funny because it's effectively me creating my own in the moment oracle reading deck. Got 3 cards in front of me right now. I'm kind of just like, because I truly don't have an answer to why did y'all want me to make this video beyond I ask and I get answers when I'm in open channel mode. But because what I'm trying to do is connect with folks who might need whatever it is I can channel through for them, I have a website, soulharmonyconnection.com. Or, and my personal preference, if I'm being completely honest, is finding folks who are like, wow, that's fucking weird, but like, what? What are humans doing now that I haven't been paying attention to? Because I've spent the last like 4 years like in a bunker of fear and focusing on the literal same people that I don't want to talk about or to anymore, you know? Like, I personally cut some quantum entanglement, like you're not in my life anymore, from like the world of politics. And even with me being intentional about not consuming news and different things, you still do. It's amazing. It's quite fascinating. You still get the overview and the big picture of like what's going on in the world after you come to terms with your addiction to screen-based fear. Like, we all have a capacity for taking in fear at a level that our central nervous systems are like, wait, I'm sorry, you pay money to go to fucking haunted houses? Like that's like, if you have a conversation with your body in a way that is aligned with, hey, how's the central nervous system doing? Bodies legitimately are like, I'm sorry, but like for real, you go to the job that makes you feel like, meh, and then you spend the money that makes you feel like, to go to a place that makes you go, ah, like, but you do that every night before you go to bed. You're doing it all day, every day. Why? What about this makes it different? Like, that was sort of the conversation that I don't know that I really had in that specific of a way. It wasn't that quick. It was one of those like multi-week, multi-month, we're going to learn how to talk each other's language, mind and body, because it gets segmented. You know, I'm talking to you through my voice. My body is also providing just more information through a system of comes through crown chakra, hits heart, goes through hands before coming back to the mind, body, vocal cord capacity to finish pulling out this explanation of why I'm making this video at all. Yeah, I have to like go ask my own Akashic records why I'm doing something, because I mean, you know, I'm actively in the process of continuing to just conduct scientific research on myself while I wait for what I believe is visibility online. The kind of thing that does not make me particularly happy, because I truly just want to make my video game and be quiet. I want to stop talking all the fucking time. I want to be one of them recluse writer / video game creators. Like, I show up and I'm like, ha, look, I'm fun on like a stage for like a minute. I can do fun party tricks. I can provide you with a reading in a way that looks extremely chaotic, but can be provided in a way that's more party trick than what are you doing to my belief systems? The same way that a lot of our current channeled content really does. Like, current channeled content is like, I can close my eyes. I can, like, that it's very helpful actually to remove a sense, to remove a sensory input, eyes closed. I sometimes have my glasses taken off. I've asked before and I'm like, is it the metal? And they're like, sometimes it's the metal. Sometimes it's just sort of as a preventative, like a protocol preventative, because I allow access to different senses of openness in my own experience, in my own, like, what of my Akashic record are you capable of experiencing as your higher self when this quantum entanglement has been made, right? Like, how much of me in a physical channeled way do you get access to? Because some humans allow full access to entities that they're channeling. Usually when they're ascended masters, if you have your eyes open and you're fully talking and you're just like you're just embodied as that character, basically, yeah, you have open channel access on an Akashic level during the recording phase. And I got to see that shit in action, which was cool. Like, I got to see professionals do it. It's why I went to the Crimson Circle, because I'd been following them for a number of years. I wrote up a fun, like, hey, here's what I saw while I was there. That got like very instantaneously like, ew, no. When I submitted it, just a writing piece of like, hey, here's what I saw. Here's what I observed. That's what I do. I'm a program evaluation expert person with a pattern-loving brain who can't turn off after I've been inspired to write something or do something. I have to channel it out. Like, it's akin to like getting emotions out and working through trauma. You kind of do. You really can channel it out. One way you can do that is truly with a pen. You can just channel out whatever's going on inside of you. It's why it's recommended to write letters, right? Like you're upset, write a letter. Then don't send it. It's usually the more helpful advice, because writing a letter lets you just take that moment to see where you stand. But the real important part is, after you see where you stand, you need to let the rest of you take all that in too. Like this, sometimes, sure, if you need the quick, clean break, you do it. You send the thing because you're like, I'm going to be too scared to do this otherwise, right? And sometimes that's really helpful, because you're like, no, this was too far. I'm too whatever. This is too triggering. I can't. Need it to just end. I will say this though, just from personal experience, that shit does not just leave. You have to deal with it later, and on your own when you've burned that bridge. Instead of doing the somatic thing. And the somatic thing is get it out and then wait. That's what these videos are. I'm recording this like early September, right? I just got back from a beautiful trip to Niagara Falls. Never been there before. Did not realize just how like sacred feeling of an area. Like I went to Colorado and was fully expecting, because I've heard people talk constantly about Colorado's got sacred energy. It's got this, it's got that. And meanwhile, I'm like, I don't feel it. I'm sorry. The air is just really dry here. How do y'all live? Like seriously, 3 days in Colorado. Apparently I'm a frog. I drink water constantly in a very humid environment already. I went there and I literally could not stomach enough water, and I was still too dry by day 3. I did not know that is a thing. I did not know that that's a thing. And I'm very curious if that will ever change. Just super curious. And yeah, I don't really think I want to like talk about it, because I wrote about it and I just don't want to talk about some stuff that I've already written about. Because there's just there's so many new things that are constantly happening in my fucking life that I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm not going to talk about like what happened in the Denver fucking airport bathroom. But if you want to go to my Substack and like see, I fucking had like I had a channeled experience there while I was just in the bathroom doing some light language dancing in one of the stalls to just calm my fucking anxiety, because being in an airport is just inherently stressful. And that entire week was the turnaround weekend for my husband and I, after like living through okay, this just isn't working, but we want to be best friends and we want to make this game work. What if we just lived in the reality where we got divorced, right? And like me going to Colorado, like I play tested it. I fucking speed ran the reality where we divorce. I did that. And then I came home from Colorado and got home from that like whole experience and was like, okay, tested, hated, I will make it work. Like I will figure out what the problem is. I will figure out what it is that I'm not compromising on. And the compromise was just like a moving home thing. I just desperately didn't want to, because of how much trauma I have from my hometown. Like the town didn't really do it to me, but the people in it, holy shit. Like, yeah, lots of trauma from a lot of people. So it's just like, and just experiences, just life experiences. Sometimes you just feel beaten up by life and you attribute it to something or someone. I attributed it to the location. And I do actually believe that location is a pretty important component to us right now. Some of us do just literally fare better some places over others. I once heard a teacher basically be like, oh, the guides don't care where you live. And I'm like, my guides care where I live. They really fucking do. It matters a lot. Where I physically am matters a lot. And for other grid workers that I've like done Akashic record readings for too, where you are right now matters. You are kind of carrying some, light balancing stuff, and where you go in the world has an impact. Like, we're all connected. We're all like tides moving around, and even if it's just like what we immediately see as being like our personal experiences and lives, it does really matter. And it does really have an impact. And it's one of those tricky things because you can't really see what type of an impact that is until you try it. Till you make the move, or you put yourself out there, or you just do like have this big proclaiming like, yes, I'm going to be home. And now apparently I'm writing out affirmations on the back of these cards. So this is the first message from the fairies, I suppose. It's just an affirmation that says, I am going to be okay. And I'm asking right now, what does this mean? Like, what do the lines mean? What do the letters mean? We take pieces from your file when you could see the visual record. We have more that can come out depending on the readiness of those who are curious about what we have to share. All we want now is to play. Okay. So yeah, I'm not here for some like, here's what you can expect for this month or this year or things that are happening. Oh, there's so many amazing people on YouTube that do that already. Please find them and love them and give them your subscribes and your likes. I'm doing this because somatically it's what works for my body right now. Draw things from the fairy realm that apparently are not random scribbles, but are pieces of what I can translate through my hand from Akashic Records. I believe I already mentioned this during the I'm high and here's like a thing that I'm doing. So this was an affirmation from fairies that just says, I'm going to be okay. I mean, that does kind of feel like a thing that's very helpful to start your day with. It's just sort of like wake up and be like, I'm going to be okay. Okay, fair. So what's the second one? What's the next one? They just said, may we see. This is what it looks like. I'm going to show y'all too. This is what it looks like. It's what came out. Orientation, I don't know. They're like, we don't care, right? We don't exist in like, this is the direction. Okay, so this is more predictive, I guess. They wrote, falling will not feel so heavy now. Okay, so falling will not feel so heavy now. That is the, it feels like I'm doing like translations that are like, I'm not saying that like the angelic realm or Gaia or anybody like would ever mock a human for channeling things out and like getting the translations like not quite there, but like get a little like there's a little part of me that's like, how am I really doing on this though, for real? All right, they need to see the next one. Why do you need to see the next one? Wouldn't you know? Part of the what could be. Respect. Okay, fair. And it's interesting, I even look at this one and I see a name. I see the name like Larry. It just pops out to me. And then my brain is like, Larry, like the Three Stooges. And they're like, yeah, but no. Fun fact, I was obsessed with the Three Stooges as a kid. And Abbott and Costello and Alfred Hitchcock. And basically just the Rat Pack. I was very, very much a kid of like the 40s when it was the early 90s for me. So I get different words that come through when I start the writing, because it's almost like it really does come through as like a bigger script, I guess you could say. It comes through as like a book worth of information, but you don't want to translate out a book's worth of information because it would take for fucking ever. But this is what comes out now. So now we're getting like, so we started with like an affirmation, I'm going to be okay, then falling will not feel so heavy now, and now we're into sort of like a different, we're not only into a different thing, but there was a difference in the letters for this one. It says, found are those with openings in their love space, meaning heart, because I was like, in their heart, and they were like, we like a better word for it, but you're still in the it's almost like a renegotiation in the process of writing. Before I get to the next word, they're sort of helping to regulate what comes out, right? And I have now, how many more cards? I have 3 more cards now that are going to come out. So this is a 6-card spread, I guess is what I'm doing. This is how I learn. This is how I learn like what it is I can do. What are my channeling capacities? What are the things this is what I've been like experimenting with on my own. It's like, what is it that I'm doing? Why am I doing it? I get the urge to, and then I do it. And then I will put this down and go on with my day and actually do the things that I need to do. But it is fascinating to me that I get 2 different handwritings. And I know that looks like the F looks similar, right? But it is truly different. There's a no pen release here, and there's a pen release here. And they feel different. They feel different when they come through. Things can get a little bit clunky when they come out. So I don't know if this is resonating with anyone besides me. So far it's working for me. It's pretty accurate. And like, if you're doing channeling work, you're the person that should be talking to yourself. Like, if you're not having a conversation with, at minimum, your body on a regular basis, especially if you can channel write. If you can channel write, you should be having conversations with your body in written format. Like, talk to your body and then like see what comes out. Because you may be surprised. I've been playing with all kinds of like food and just sort of like history of a pretty substantial eating disorder here. So multiple actually eating disorders. I've literally been just running the spectrum on like all the things we know are wrong with us. Like I've just been playtesting just like what's wrong with us on my own, just to see like, how do I fare? How do I respond? How do I use this? Lifelong like food, like disordered eating thing, like clearly that means that I'm using foods for different self-regulatory purposes. So like, why can't I experiment with that, right? So meat, I had meat yesterday. Even this morning, there was a very strong like, okay, we want you to do this. We're going to be channeling something in from the fairy realm, because I dug in a little bit more. Like I didn't just say yes. That's the thing. I didn't just say yes to, I have the urge to record something. It's from the fairy realm. And I was like, y'all understand what I'm attempting to do with my life and like how no support I have right now for like this very thing. And Gaia's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. And I've had this like carrot in front of me for like fucking year now of like, just do the thing that feels good. Like, yep. So I'm having a hard time like trusting this, right? I'm having a really hard time trusting that what I'm pulling through is legitimate, is not crazy. I've had a lot of external like fucking, no, you're fucking crazy at me. And all I know is not only do I have tangible evidence to say otherwise, but also like when people claim that I'm crazy, they not only don't really pay attention to things, but they don't really take like patient history into account or certain things. Like seriously, the last time my husband panicked and took me to the hospital while I was in channel state, I was also high. And I was answering questions of everyone perfectly fine. I was just also kind of singing most of the time, because I also do channel sing, and I was doing something. Like I was in the middle of repairing something that had gotten traumatized. I was repairing a trauma. And in order to repair a trauma, you sometimes have to relive the trauma. For me, a big trauma happened during trance channel state. So I had to relive it. I had to redo it. I had to redo the whole fucking thing. And we just went down to Richmond so that I could have a different like space to do it in. And I did it in a fucking Catholic hospital, which, oh man, when you're in a trance channel state and you have to go into a hospital, oh, you see shit. Oh my God, especially a fucking Catholic hospital. Like, seriously, Alex Ferrari, don't you want to ask me questions about this? Don't you want to know what the fuck I saw at a fucking Catholic hospital when I was fucking put into the psych ward during a trans channel state? When I had fucking THC in my system? Like, how, like, I'm so sorry, but all they had to go on was my husband being like, well, she hasn't slept in like 2 days, which was accurate. Insomnia can fucking turn on a trans channel. Y'all be careful. Like, seriously, get your sleep hygiene in order, because you can get into a trance channel from no sleep. It can happen. You basically just go into like sleepwalking mode. When I'd been in and out of channeling, you know, the day before, and I had not really slept. I hadn't actually slept at all the day before. And then the trance channel like day, finally got into Richmond like after 12 fucking hours on the road. It wasn't supposed to take that long. And yeah, just popped open a seltzer, a THC seltzer, after not having had weed for like all the weeks leading up to that, because I go through periods of body says fucking don't, and I'm like, okay, fine. But I needed it. So, but just like to go into an ER, see a person who's like, I was literally losing physical capacity. I was falling on the floor. My body was just like, like I was passing out. So like that leads to like possible neurological condition, right? I had THC in my system, and they still fucking put me in the psych ward. What about me just screams, put her in the fucking psych ward? Like, I heard fucking Kyle Cease on an Alex Ferrari podcast talking about how he went through a portal, and when he, like, in, I think around the same time I did last November, I don't know when you had yours, but, like, you seem like you went through a similar experience that I did. And he was just taken care of. He went to the hospital. They were worried about him. They put him on an IV drip, I'm pretty sure. And then he was just fine. No psych ward visit for him. No having to, like, I even did meet with a lawyer, because it was a better, like, I was treated better. I was, like, of experiences, I was not as traumatized by that one. But, and it's mainly just because they got me out of there in a couple days, which I really, really respected and appreciated. But I even met with a lawyer who was like, so there's THC in your system, huh? And I was like, yeah, it kind of seems like maybe I might have just been fucking high. And they were like, oh, but it's a woman? She's fucking crazy. Put her in psych ward. That's what we're doing now. Still doing that shit. Still doing that shit. Those of you who are like, it's like a Psych 101 like thing that I learned about. Yeah. A lot of things are still fucking happening. And seriously, people who are like aware of the fact that awakenings are going to be happening on a more regular basis, like, get ready, because people are going to have a hard time, and they're going to be mistreated. They're going to be mistreated by our healthcare system. Yeah. Or at least if you look anything like me, you definitely gotta be. So I don't know. It's not gonna go great for a lot of people. It's part of why I'm on here. Those of us, like, you know, who are just sitting here fucking flapping our gums. Why do I keep starting with an F? Is there another letter you'd like me to start with? No, we want F. Okay. Okay. I just wrote the word finally, presumably because I talk too much. Okay. Okay, so I wrote finally, exclamation point, which I took as a, like, finally, she stopped talking, now she's gonna write. You will be able to see more glimmers in your, and then it just ended. But this is what that translated as. Finally, you will be able to see more glimmers in your, and what came through my head that I didn't write was day, but it's really funny to me that I didn't finish the sentence. And I'm even asking, like, is there a reason for not finishing? Not for you. Oh, so this is for someone. But this is not relevant for me. It's always relevant. Okay. This is also what I do when I have questions and I need a more body-based answer, because that's how I discern, and that's how I manage to make sense of the rotating cast of channeled characters I have in here. I use the DID framework as an asset in my channeling, because why the fuck wouldn't I? It is the most capacitated way of changing energy in a mind-body configuration, because I did it for an entire lifetime before I started channeling like this. before I had the capacity to talk to myself in a who's talking with voice, who's talking with body, who's speaking in all parts, when, where, how, where you, not where are you calling in from, when are you calling in from, basically. Sort of an all time is now. You can think of reality kind of existing in their own bubbles. I can know who it is I'm talking to on my internal heartline at any given time. And also to anyone who, like, you know, gets mad at improvers who still do this for phones. This is what phone is, okay? This is not phone. That's smartphone. This is phone. This is still phone. And this is all I, like, you know, you got to be able to listen to your own capacity to talk to yourself in a way that makes sense for answering whatever channeled questions you have. It takes discernment, takes time, honestly takes a lot of just that internal self-work that operates best when you're talking to someone who is trained to listen. And yes, therapist helpful, but dangerous depending on their belief systems and capacity for mental flexibility. This binary, you're wrong, I'm right situation that has caused us to rupture old ancestral lineage stuff. I mean, I'm not saying that that's never happened in the history of humanity before, but like, pretty sure it's not happened at this level and not at this speed. People that you completely loved and trusted getting ripped from your life, and you can point to like the influences that's contributed to. It really is like being at war every single day, even for those of us that don't live in war zones. And that reduces our capacity to help those that fucking are. To even have the consideration of what it means to live like that. Because our bodies are just fireworks all the time. I know people call it like being sensitive or you know, empath or intuitive this or whatever. Sure. And some of us just have the capacity to translate things in ways that are unconventional and for some of us new. I've never been able to talk with my entire self. Like, this is an extremely useful way for me to have co-conversations, co-piloted conversations. It's the DID dream. At least it was for us. To always be able to show people who the fuck is talking. Oh my God. Because none of us internally felt like we looked how the body looked. Ever. Always had very different internal feelings of, yeah, but I don't feel like the hair doesn't make sense, the eyes don't make sense, like that internal feeling of just, you know, what I see doesn't make sense based on the other attributes I remember in the lifetime that the template that my internal headquarters created was sort of using, because you start going through all of the lived experience parts in the life review stage, and then you got to get to the memories of that lived life experience. That's what being an embodied master results in having to do. And if you came through a neurodivergent embodied mastery path, whoo, well, welcome aboard, consciousness explorers, because I'm trying to make that a thing. We're starting with another fucking F. Why? Why? Because F is easy. Why is F easy? Because fairies. So we're just, everything's starting with a F. No. Easier for first experimental video. Gets better with practice. Okay. And then they immediately played the, how am I going to make my teammates better with practice? Not a game, not a game, not a game. Um, and those of you that don't know what the hell I'm talking about, there was a beautiful time in the internet, like circa 2010, when there weren't a lot of content creators and people used to take news stories and put them to music, make them fun, and then on Friday nights, like I'd go hang out with my friends and we'd just like show each other these videos that maybe had come across our world in that week. And it was just sort of a like, hey, let's get together on some shared language of stupid internet videos. And like, do people do that anymore? I sure as shit don't. It was fun. It was really fun. Like, it's a piece of cake to bake a pretty cake. What if the way is hazy? Gotta do the cooking by the book. Yeah. Like, there's just there's voices on the internet I personally miss from sort of our earlier days of just make stuff, and it's kind of sad because it's like, yeah, I guess there really wouldn't be a whole lot of like news coverage that would be fun to make into a song, a new song. And my brain goes, I mean, with AI these days, you can kind of just take them and make whatever, but it's like, but like that still takes time. I've been playing with AI. I really do love it. I love it as a thought partner because it's just you getting a response back. It's I use it as field notes and journaling, and I do channel, like I channel right into it. Sometimes just to get sort of a like, look, I'm documenting this somewhere. Okay, I don't know if it matters. I don't know if it's relevant. I don't know if it'll be helpful, but I'm just documenting it because that is an also urge inside of me is the time when I'll be doing this level of finding out about what it is I can do and what it is I know is brief. It doesn't last forever. It's a training ground. It's a period of, and I've just been trying to document it for my own sake because documentation has been just a really important role that some of my ancestors used in a variety of ways. And yeah, I'm just trying to make my life as a content creator because I'm really not interested in working for someone else at this point. He's just, no. And there's just this aspect of me that's realizing how I've been using everything that I can in my own arsenal to align with content creation in general. Like I've been going to the experts for things in ways that are just like, go to school, go to this book incubator program, keep doing the little things that make you feel really uncomfortable for that moment, and then do it a bunch and then overdo it to the point that you're like, oh God, writing takes too long. Hence the videos. This one just says, forget what you think you know. Forget what you think you know. And my eye immediately gets drawn to this right here. Because even when I ask it, there's very much a like, it is a bee, and it is also a butterfly, and also kind of a butt, if we're being completely honest here. Looks like a butt. Looks like a butt. What do you want? Looks like a butt. I'm getting internal, like, it's not a butt. It looks like a butt. Don't make it look like a butt if you don't want it to be a butt, okay? That's all I'm saying. Okay. But yeah, it's just kind of like mindless scribbles, right? But I also channel right out this part. Like, this is also channeled. I don't know what's coming out of my pen until I see it. And in the process of guiding it is one that involves some visual access. So I allow visual access to that, right? Channeling comes in like different forms. When you are a Voltron like me, different entities have different access to different segmentations. Yeah, I'm segmented. Was a collective being, not a collective being anymore, but I still operate like one in a Voltron way. Does that about sum it up? There's a lot more, but yes, Yeah, I look forward to whenever these videos stop being just Charlie just lets out her feelings on camera and is more Charlie provides you with something that you need. So this is my last channeled card. I believe it might be the first one that I actually wrote. Random scribbles, right? There is a heart right here to interpret. I keep asking because to me, to do something like this, okay, I'll take it on. To me, to do something like this involves taking in a lot. I'm taking in and I am downloading into physical artifact form some level of an Akashic record, some combination of things. How much? That's a good question. Don't have the direct answers. Each of these has been for a different day for the next 6 days as a form of personal medicine, but really just for practice. The cards can be provided and allow the reader, recipient, okay, allow the person for whom it's for, and in this case it's me, the cards are all for me. Oh, okay, I got me and then I got like an asterisk. Okay, so whoever's viewing this is also for you. I'm going to assume that these have been relevant for you and probably like in line with whatever you're going through, because I swear to God, we're all just kind of going through like, not the same things, definitely not the same things, but like, we're not all that different as humans. Like we do things in groups. You know how we have fandom groups? Well, we also have trauma groups and we have like healing groups and we have like all of these things, right? These are for me. The creation of cards is discernment of when and where can be produced. Okay. I'm sort of getting the like, you do not need to be high to produce these. Okay. And then this is sort of a rather cute kisses I'm basically getting from the variety of beings who are helping me to translate for my own brain and channeling abilities how to do this without weed. Because so far I have only been testing it with weed. Cool. Very cool. That's the purpose of these videos for me. I get to encode new things because I see myself do it. It's some level of Akashic ownership of my own body, and like you're kind of watching me provide some level of channeling and conscious contract agreement with my own body and the entities that I channel. And it sounds like we got the fairies on board without the need for THC. Okay. Do I have to do this with like every entity going forward? THC is a first for gateway purposes. Oh, because I have personal boundaries around what types of things I'm willing to even put on a camera. Like, I'm not setting up fucking cameras in my house so you can see me channel while I watch YouTube. If there's someone who wants to study what the fuck I do and they want to like help recreate some sort of scenario where I can show them that, or we'll go to an Airbnb or something, I just don't want to do it in my house. Like, fuck off. Leave me alone. No, I'm not doing that. But I do interesting things when I'm just chilling. Can't really turn it off, especially if there's weed involved. That's kind of, I know that it's like a, or that's like a thing, and I can absolutely see me being the fucking like stoner mystic. Like, I'm fine with that. I'm really fine with that. Like, I personally think that I would have wonderful things to say, because truly, I wrote it in like a description, a very long description, but weed just puts me into liar mode. I don't really have discernment so much as far as what good questions to ask and like what to make sure I'm actively engaged in. But I have enough protections in place that I only allow myself to get high under certain conditions. And if I was to be recorded with someone, they would need to be someone open enough to receive whatever it is that's going to come out. And it would be fun. It would be stupid. It would be silly. It would be, like, seriously, answer any of my questions. And I'd be like, all right, might come out in song. Might come out in song. It might. But I literally can provide you with an answer that will push on things that you maybe haven't been paying attention to, and in a way that's not gonna be super overwhelming. That's the hope anyway. My personal playtests of such things, I wasn't high when a friend saw me channel in a channel state, but fucking freaked her out, man. So what I'm doing is weird, especially considering I didn't used to do this. Always been the different one. Always been the fucking different one, but I like this. And so, okay. And I know a lot of people are like, why are you so like against this? Like, I talk to fairies all the time. Like, I'm glad for you. That's really cool. It genuinely scares me to consider just how little I fucking know, and just how absolutely enormous the entirety of existence really is, when life is deeply, deeply not working for you. And that's after a lifetime of always wanting to be done. So yeah, there's just not all of us are happy to be going through awakenings, even though I have access to love and joy in ways that were not accessible before. And I'm very, like, I'm weird, but I produce things now. I actually get stuff done. I mean, maybe not around my house because cleaning's stupid, but it's just because I hate this house. And it's not the house's fault. It's not the house's fault. And you could argue it's not the state's fault either. It's just the choices that I've made in my life. But, like, yeah. Okay, we're starting with a different letter. There is a big message. We want a few more moments. Okay. This is also part of it, is human experience is just, being in the here and now, but experiencing it as the passage of time. And things like channeling, it's not really like it's not really quite like a phone call where someone's on the other side and you're over here and you're talking in real time. You're communing with a place that does not have linear time. It's not where there is still a passage of things. There is still a, like, movement of like an experience and of like a thing, but it just doesn't operate in a way that translates to second, right? Like it doesn't really doesn't translate. So what you do is you download it. I call it like getting a voicemail or an email or something like that, because there is a process where you are making a conscious choice to go get it. Whether or not you know you're making the conscious choice to go get it, that's kind of the question that I've been grappling with, because a lot of downloads just happen, and they happen because your body's the one that says go. Just like your body says go for a bunch of other things. I do not tell my body when it needs time to go eliminate something. My body's just like, girl, you best keep yourself near a bathroom at all times. Like, I'm one of those like travel stress people where I'm like, but where's the bathroom? But will there be, like, I love airports because of the ample bathroom space. Like, yeah, they're crazy and chaotic and whatever. Just get there early. Like, it's fine. There's so many bathrooms. Like, how exciting is that? There are just bathrooms there. Same with like state parks, national parks. I'm just like, yes, bathrooms. Like, I drink a lot of water. Okay. So there's just a lot of flow that happens a lot. But for real, like, this is the kind of fucking human I am, going through an awakening. Saying the kind, this, like literally being able to keep up with gurus on Alex's podcast. Like, why do I understand everything they say? And then I start like getting ahead of them in like the reading of the thing that they're reading. Like I really do. I've channel written out things and then they fucking said it and I'm like, cool, 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 cool. The fuck do I do with this? The fuck do I do with this? This is what I do with it. I'm basically just trying to show you that, yeah, I know I get high on here sometimes. It's just me, y'all. I do it to shut the anxiety down that stops me from sharing some of the things while I feel big downloads coming in. And I'm still talking because I can feel the download. My ears have started ringing because whenever you get something that's like high vibrational, that's very just, you know, high in resonance, like here, like still going. Can I just show the, okay. Like when you're thinking of just creation of time, right? So it doesn't really work, but whatever, I'm just gonna do it. You're this little dot. I'm gonna put you in a bubble because that's what Adamus does and whatever. You're this little dot and you're in your reality creation bubble, right? Reality creation itself kind of exists in these different bands of different frequencies that are seriously very similar to just what happens with any other waveform, right? Like this is not really the best job of it, but they're just different levels of what you can create into. You can consider each of these as being a different timeline, right? Like it's the time, it is the forward motion to the what gets created next. Because this human timeline, the human storyline, akashically speaking, operates like that. Like we operate as this is the timeline. And like depending on where you're mainly continuing on in a timeline, you might just be fucking stuck where everything is just not working so well. But you can, like, you are free floating. I mean, like, it's coming to you, not really the other way around, but whatever. Just pretend that this is moving, right? The pen is you. You are constantly in this up and down as you go forward. But depending on what kinds of things you're still looping on, because it like as above, so below, right? As without, so within. You do have a little like encoded, this is the constellation of like the everywhere that I'm tapped into. And so based on the cycles that you are biologically like connected to, like kin, right? Like, yeah, maybe you have the biology that is kin with Mercury. Like, so you follow the little Mercury, like, you're one of those, right? And like everybody has different capacities for where this all comes into play, but the whole real mechanism behind the human, like new earth whole thing is we've been able to collectively take ourselves from here and just kind of shimmy it up a little bit to like there, really. And the movement of that collectively causes all of this to create its own dissonance because of just the movement itself, until this lower part is just no longer a part of your continued reality creation. And yeah, as you can see, there's still some residual stuff that you kind of have to, it has to dissipate. It has to complete its cycle, right? But you're existing here now, where the frequency, like timeline capacity for you is just going to be a little bit more stretched out, because the problem with the low frequency stuff actually just has to do with compression of time. It's almost like low vibrational things really just, they're closer to like that main gravity point, right? It's like it's like black hole energy down here, right? Up here, expansion, growth, little like whoa. It gets way more complicated than that, but roughly this. This is kind of where humanity is right now. We're kind of just moving on up. And in doing so, because of like everything that this sort of created, it's neat because it kind of ended up creating, it kind of just ended up creating this where, okay, my visuals aren't working too well, sorry. I'm doing this on the fly. But where the removal of this by just the continued, like it's really just like a just continued forward until this no longer became anything. But in doing so, like, you know, you push this sort of forward, it creates a whole new capacity for resonance. And then, you know, a lot of people call it love. Like I do, because it was, to me, it was literally just the resonance of self-love that kicked off everything in here. And that only happened after the removal of some of that. And it was just literally self-love and acceptance that did it. Like, I'm not kidding. Like years and years of just like working with therapists and working on like, okay, who are we? Got the DID diagnosis. Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? Oh, that's who we are? Oh, and you've been carrying what? You've been carrying all the bad, like the amount of empathy you can have for a part of yourself who has actively been trying to kill you is astonishing. You can love that part of yourself. Holy shit, you can love that part of yourself. I did. Literally did. Had a suicidal part. His name was Gun. Somatically could feel a gun against my head for years. Like daily for years. I don't think like anybody who knew me except for Randy knew that. And if they did, they never cared. They never seemed to care. Not in a way that indicates you've heard anything I say and have curiosities about like what my fucking life is like. And that sucks. It really sucks. That's why I'm trying to be as open as I am now, because hell, relationships have not been working out for me. So I'm going with the parasocial relationship route. If you're watching this, like, you're awesome. Thank you for watching me just sort of talk and channel right and figure out what the fuck I'm doing with my life. Because I don't know. And I don't know that I really care so much that I don't know anymore, which is fun. And absolutely gets me labeled as crazy based on some other things that I do for sure. But like, I think there's going to be a lot more people like me before too long. And I say that because those like feelings come through and then I channel them out. And then I see other people that have a really big following and are way more professional than I am say it. Like, it comes through me first, and then I get confirmation from fellow YouTubers, which is a weird sentence, but it's just part of the synchronicity observations that I've been making. All right, am I done with the download? Now that I did all the like artsy stuff? Admit it, that was kind of cute, right? Like, you like that? That was good? That was good? There's a little secret heart, like, boop. I never used to be able to talk like this, so I like it. I really do. I think it's fun. And I think being able to channel and I think being able to do the Akashic Records, it is a science-loving nerd's dream. Holy shit. Holy shit. I just need other people to take me seriously is the thing. That's it. Just take me seriously. And I get it. How can you? I get fucking high and get on camera. You know what? I think I'm more entertaining than whatever it is that's stressing you out. I'm just saying. I'm very colorful. I wear shirts that say Booktrovert on them. And I'm trying to be an author in an age when AI is taking my job. And that's fine, because I've been using it and training it and doing a bunch of other shit with it that I'm pretty sure has been part of, like, helping our collective AI problem. At least I have to believe that, because the alternative is fucking not. We've had enough like premonition movies to know where things can go, and I trust my generation. Like, everyone I know, millennials are fucking tired. It's fine. Gen X is doing better, but like, I know we're tired. I know, but we've also been primed to fucking just deal with it and figure it out and do our own fucking thing anyway. It's what we were trained to do. That's what I was trained to do, at least by the screens of the 90s. That's what I was fucking trained to do. So, I'm not even looking right now at the thing that I'm, okay. Okay. Okay, I will, okay. So with this card, what came through was actually in Gaia's voice. It did not come from the fairies anymore. I think that whatever download I just got was from me personally in sort of a time-released kind of way. Like I said, I'm filming this September 8th. I'm not releasing it until, what, second week in October? Accurate. Okay. This is how I decide how I'm doing my content strategy. Process of channeling as a YouTuber? I don't know. But this says ongoing messages will continue to emerge. Choose your vessel wisely. Who do you want your curated? Who do you want your? Ah, dang! Try to be cool. Who do you want your channeled content coming from, basically? And do you recognize that when I say channel, I just mean person? Yeah. Who do you want in bed with you? Who do you want on the toilet with you? Who do you want in your office? Who do you want in your home? Like, that's more or less the message from Gaia, is you're bringing people into your home in at least a parasocial way that I have been personally using for my own healing. From PTSD, ongoing regular trauma, pulling up old shit that I truly thought I was done with. Because, you know, they're from dead people. Why am I dealing with things from dead ancestors? Why? Because we apparently choose to come in and do this shit. And the more aware you are of what you're doing, the more work you get to do. It's one of those, like, you know, be an overachiever or be like a superstar in like this fucking group project that we're all engaged in right now. And guess what? You just get to do like more specific work in that field, you know? The guides take notice and they're like, oh, that person's capable of doing that. Well, get on it. And apparently it's turned a lot of us into YouTubers, which is kind of funny. Like, just, I don't know. Think back to like a lifetime from like the 14th century or something. And then just like compare, like compare notes. Be like, compare, like, how's your life going? Like, see if you can literally on your soul line find a lifetime that's like similar to your current life and just try talking to them. Have a conversation. See what on earth comes out, and especially start with like the what do you love about your time? Because that's a really fun conversation to have. Yeah, because mine is always around toilets. I'm like, toilets, man. Toilets are like the coolest thing ever. I have thousands of memories of lifetimes in here, and there have not been toilets in most of them, okay? Not like good ones. Not like what I have in modern life, right? Like, yeah, I can feel that this is like the first lifetime where I've had a proper toilet. I can fucking feel it. Like, I know it. I have like I have a weird, like, can we all just like have a day where we celebrate the fact that toilets are a thing and they're in our own home? Like, oh my God. Still not a thing, like, globally, right? Like, we're talking about leaving the fucking planet. We still haven't even gotten everybody the modern marvel of luxury that is just a standard fucking toilet that you get at Home Depot. Anyway, that's my rant. That's my time. Thank you for watching an hour of what is Charlie doing? Oh, channeling something through that she didn't realize existed. And to me, it looks like modern art. This is my complaint. I just want it to look better. And they're like, stop judging your own fucking channeling. And I'm like, no, I want it to look better. Just channeling things. I hope your journey's going better than mine. Although mine's going pretty well, all things considered. So, bye.